If that organization, if your organization has taken the steps to create a good culture where your team members are happy, your team members are engaged, people want to come to work, then they will become part of the culture. And that culture may evolve. And you want to know what? That's a good thing. If it's evolving in a positive direction, it's a good thing. And when we were talking about, marketing in the recruitment process, when we're marketing, right, for those in the recruitment process, if we're a company and we have a culture of acceptance and belonging and we're honest and we love innovation, guess what? We're not. And we've used our marketing team, marketing and HR have worked effectively together to tell that story about who we are, what we do, what our culture is. That person who doesn't like innovation, who wants to be siloed, who doesn't want to work with anybody, and who wants to always be right, probably won't apply to our organization. So it's one less resume that has to be chucked at the end of the day. I do not like the culture fit. I'm
Yeah.
I'm on board.
Well,
Yeah,
well,
it's just bad. It's bad.
right, right. You said a very important thing that the culture has to evolve. When I
Mhm.
work with the startup companies, the culture evolves, right? It was 5 people, and then it goes to, 10 people, and then it goes to, 20 people. And then all of a sudden, well, looks like we're gonna have to hire a head of HR, right? Because we can no longer be that startup. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
culture has to evolve, and I think that's the beauty of it. And as the culture evolves, people move around and things change, and that's okay. But I think that while the culture has to evolve, and I take lessons from Apple, the core values have to stay, right?
Exactly.
The one thing that Steve Jobs said when he came back to Apple is that Apple has forgotten what it is. It forgot to innovate. And I think what happens is that when you pay too much attention to just the cultural fit and making sure that everybody is a right fit, then you kind of lose that part, the core value, right? Or the execution of the core value, which is
Mhm.
innovate, right? Which is be relentless about customers and stuff like that. We cannot confuse the core values and the culture, right? I just
Exactly.
wanted to bring it out because I see that over and over again. There are so many reasons why, just in this conversation, where the HR and the marketing should work together. Last thing, and it's so appropriate to talk about this, the nature of the organization or the makeup of an organization has starting to shift. This may be a drastic statement. I heard a number of CEOs say that the successful CEOs will have to manage an organization where half of the employees are AI bots or half the employees are, humanoid robots. Because let's just take that as a premise that the organizations of tomorrow will have maybe 50% of employees are humanoid robots. What will it take in order to manage that kind of an organization?
It's wild. I've been hearing more and more kind of tidbits kind of come out with it's going to look like this, it's going to look like that. And I will tell you, it's interesting. No one ever says when, right? So I think that being aware about the quick shift in AI and in robotics, I think being aware of it is crucial.